So I was literally in the middle of writing my Soundcore Life Q30 review when I heard about the release of a new model, and honestly, I was about ready to declare them the best value ANC headphones you can buy. Hands down. So I've been especially excited to test out the new Q35s, a successor to the Q30s that bring a handful of cool new features. Since a lot of the features are shared across both devices, this video will actually serve as a review of both, but I'll get into a full comparison of the differences between these headphones, and I'll be sure to highlight what's new with the Q35s. Let's take a look. I want to start with the accessories, because the Q35s come with the new suede finish carrying case. The rounded design brings a slightly smaller overall footprint, which I prefer, but I do wonder how this material will hold up against the elements compared to the tougher fabric texture case from last year. The internals are changed up too. There's no longer a cutout for the headphones, but it still holds them securely in place. This small pouch also replaces the compartment from the previous case and holds the accessories. The paperwork is much the same, as is the Anker quality USB-C charging cable, but the new model comes with an inline mic on the aux cable. This is a really cool addition, especially for those who like to listen wired, and we'll check out how this compares to the headphones' built-in mics later in the video. And finally, we also gain an aeroplane travel adapter, so as we start to escape the limitations of lockdown, it's cool to see that the Q35s are now more travel-friendly. In terms of design, you could initially mistake these for the older Q30s, and though the structure remains the same, there's a new finish here that really accentuates the design. This is the obsidian blue colour, and the new matte texture, I think, gives them a much more premium look than the Q30s. It reminds me of the texture we have with the Liberty Air 2 Pro earbuds, and I'm personally a big fan of this new aesthetic. It contrasts really nicely with the brushed finish headband, which, as it does with the Q30s, extends really smoothly with a gentle but satisfying click. The older model are just a little bit more shiny and don't hide the fingerprints quite as well. I know that looks are obviously subjective, but I think this new blue colour is really nice, and helps to distinguish these headphones from others on the market. At launch this finish will be available straight away, but there's a frosted pearl option coming just a month or so later as well. The build quality, like with the 30s, is pretty good, but not the headphone's greatest strength. There is a little bit of creaking in the headband, but I didn't hear this with my music playing, and they still feel fairly sturdy overall. There's sadly no water resistance here, which most headphones don't offer, but these should hold up fine for a workout, there's just no guaranteed protection. The button layout is the same as the previous model, which Soundcore splits sensibly across both ear cups, with the noise cancelling power button and USB-C charging port on the left, and the volume control, play pause and the headphone jack on the right. The controls are also located at the lower rear of the ear cup where they should be, making them intuitive and easy to reach, and each button gives a very distinctive click when pressed. It takes a second to learn the feel of these buttons, where the bottom ones are each smaller, and a raised dot distinguishes the volume control. But it's a good system overall, with all of the controls you'd expect, including for phone calls and summoning your phone's voice assistant. One cool feature a lot of people don't realise these headphones have is using your palm to cover the right ear cup to change between transparency mode and either noise cancelling or normal mode, whichever one you were using. It's similar to Sony's quick attention feature, but rather than temporarily holding transparency whilst your palm is there, it's simply a quick way to switch between listening modes instead of using the button. The first major new feature for the Q35s though is that they've added smart wearing detection, so when you take the headphones off they automatically pause your music, and when you put them back on, the music resumes. This is a popular feature that was heavily requested, it works really well, and it's great to see this added. You can turn this feature off in the Soundcore app if you choose, and aside from this, the features and settings are the same for both the Q30 and 35s. The app gives you access to Soundcore's sophisticated equalizer, where you can not only choose from a wide selection of preset EQs, but you can also save multiple custom EQs as well, so there are lots of options for fine-tuning the sound to your preference. They've also added the superior sleep feature I showed off in the Wakey alarm clock speaker review, where you can drag these sliders to create your own custom ambient sounds, including with a timer function designed to help you relax or fall asleep. The Soundcore community is packed into the app too, including a music feature in partnership with Loom, which features an ad-free streaming service for emerging artists. There's a neat little music player built in for this, and when you're back on the device settings page, a little pop-up icon appears to let you quickly drop back into the music. but I expect the main reason you'll use the app is to change up the ambient sound mode. You can of course switch between these using just the headphones, and there's also a widget available on both iOS and Android. But the app lets you get into the specific noise cancelling modes that target certain environments. For example, the indoor mode focuses on voices, and the mid-range frequencies you might find in a coffee shop. So I guess it makes sense to talk now about noise cancelling, and this is the same feature set we saw with the Q30s and the Liberty Air 2 Pro earlier this year, but I find it's especially effective with the over-ear headphones. I still prefer to use the transport mode for noise cancelling, since there's only a subtle difference with the other NC modes, and I find this one to be the best. But it's cool that there's some customization over the noise cancelling, which headphones often don't give you. I didn't really notice a big difference in the ANC between the 30 and 35s, and since no improvement is advertised, this makes sense. The headphones do a good job of minimizing outside noise, and there's a clear reduction in noise compared to the normal mode. The transparency mode works really well too, and gives you a natural sounding input from the environment without sounding overly amplified. Now, compared to the market leaders, the noise cancelling isn't on the level of headphones like Sony's WH-1000X M4, which noticeably block out more sound. But you do have to spend considerably more to get better noise cancelling, and the performance here will be more than good enough for most people. But I want to talk now about arguably the headphone's best feature, which is actually comfort. The ear cups both pivot and rotate 90 degrees, so there's a lot of flexibility offered here. There's also ample padding on both the headband and the ear cups, which are quite spacious and don't cause my ears to warm up as much as most headphones do. The clamping force isn't too tough either, so there's no pain at the temples, but the seal formed is still firm to help with passive noise isolation and for minimizing sound leakage. The headphones are reasonably light as well, so there's no soreness at all at the crown of my head, and I can comfortably wear these for hours on end. A feature like comfort can often trump the headline-grabbing features like industry-leading ANC. If you took these on a long-haul flight, for example, and you're wearing them for hours on end, you'll definitely notice your ears or head aching far sooner than slightly poorer noise cancelling than the market leaders, especially with your music playing. The Q30 and Q35 are extremely comfortable, which, especially when it comes to long-term use, is a benefit that won't be undervalued when you're actually wearing these. So it's an important aspect to consider that's often overlooked. And listening to these for hours on end is exactly what you can do, because the battery life for these headphones is absolutely insane. I actually had a tough time running down the battery during testing, as these give a ridiculous 40 hours with ANC, or around 60 hours with ANC turned off, destroying the market leaders from Sony, Bose and Sennheiser. So if you want a pair that will last a really long time, both of these headphones definitely fit the bill. There's also an excellent fast charge feature, where a 5-minute charge will give you around 4 hours of playback, and it takes about 2 hours to charge the headphones fully. One feature I want to see added to the app is some customization over the auto power off, because I found that these can stay connected for quite a long time before turning off. Having said that, they seem to hold battery really well in standby mode, so it's not been an issue at all. They do, however, power off if there's no Bluetooth connection, or if you unplug the aux cable. Now, when you use these with the aux cable, you hear the headphones power off tone as you plug it in, but you can still cycle between the noise cancelling modes. The power button doesn't seem to turn on or off the headphones when using the cable, but the most important thing is that you can still keep listening with the cable once the battery runs out. The inline remote still works to play pause and skip tracks, and the only thing that still requires power is the microphone feature. The call quality is the next feature upgrade for the Q35s compared to the 30s, as the 2-mic setup is now enhanced with AI noise reduction. So take a listen to see how the mics sound.
So first off, I'll test the built-in mic on the headphones themselves, and you're listening now to the Q35s in a noisy environment with heavy traffic passing in the background. These do a good job of isolating my voice from that loud traffic sound, and there seems to be more treble in my voice, which makes it clearer to hear compared to the Q30s. So you're listening now to the older Q30s, and you may be able to hear how the audio isn't quite as clear as with the newer Q35s. I also notice my voice isn't quite as isolated from that traffic noise, so the new AI noise reduction does seem to work quite well.
And finally, this is how the mic sounds with the new inline mic on the aux cable, which understandably gives much higher quality for phone calls, but also isn't able to isolate that loud traffic sound in the background, so there are pros and cons to using it. Moving on to connectivity now, Both headphones have Bluetooth 5 and showed great connection stability and range from my phone. I also want to mention that these both have NFC, which means your Android phone can connect like this, with just a simple tap to the right ear cup. There's no need to even power on the headphones first. It's super fast, convenient, and an awesome feature to have. As for the latency, there is an ever so slight delay with YouTube videos on iOS devices, but it's only something the very keen-eyed among you will notice. With streaming services like Disney Plus and Netflix, it was absolutely fine, and Android users will have no problems at all. So in general, these are both great for watching movies. But the best connectivity feature is Multipoint, so you can be connected to two devices simultaneously, including when one device is a phone and the other is a computer. You have to pause on the first device before pressing play on the other, and it can take a few seconds to switch over, so it's not quite as seamless as with Sennheiser's Momentum 3s. But this is a really great feature to have that's often reserved for only the most expensive headphones. The major new addition for the Q35s though is LDAC, so they now have a new Bluetooth codec for streaming music. LDAC is the highest quality codec that's currently available, offering 3 times the transfer rate of the standard Bluetooth codec, which means even the smallest details of your audio will be preserved, which certainly audiophiles will appreciate. New codecs is one of the features fans requested in a successor to the Q30s, but I can't help but think that aptX is really the codec people wanted. Don't get me wrong, LDAC is awesome, and has the potential to offer much higher quality than aptX, but aptX is typically more stable and really well optimized for Android users, so I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little sad not to see this added as well. And this brings us onto audio quality, where the Q35s are distinguished not only by having LDAC support, but also a dual high-res audio certification. The Q30s already have fantastic sound quality, among the best in their category, but the 35s push this to the next level. The bass response is punchy and controlled, and yet the mid-range remains very clear and vocals really shine. There's a lot of detail in the higher frequencies too, which is the main benefit I noticed compared to most headphones in this price range. Compared to the Q30s, I think the 35 sound is just a little bit cleaner, and the highs sound more crisp. The bass can be a little overpowering with the Q30s, whereas the balance and the clarity seems better with the new model. I think the LDAC codec plays a big part in improving the sound quality, but even listening on iOS devices, the bass does seem tighter and more refined. So there does seem to be an improvement, possibly with the tuning, and just with the overall audio quality with this new model. I think my one criticism would be when listening in either transparency or normal modes, the bass frequencies seem a bit louder in the left audio channel, whereas these are balanced in the noise cancelling mode. This is the second pair of 35s I've noticed this with, so this could perhaps be a minor software bug, or maybe just a weird coincidence affecting only these headphones, so let me know if you experience this too. Compared to other flagship headphones, they don't have the same soundstage as Sony's Mark IVs, but they are more detailed and have better clarity. They're not quite as clear and sharp as the Momentum 3s though, but they do have a more weighty low end and a slightly warmer tone which I find more pleasant. I think essentially these sound so good, and are at the very least so close to the market leaders, that the price drop makes these by far much better value for money. I honestly think you'd struggle to find better sounding headphones at this price, and that's before you factor in all of the other great features too. So the new Life Q35 headphones are starting at just under $130 or £130, which massively undercuts the competition. When you think about smart wearing detection, high-res audio, multi-point, insane battery life, these are all flagship features, and yet these headphones don't cost nearly what the other flagship headphones do, and it makes it hard to justify those other high-end options. I think the older Q30s are still well worth your consideration as well. Looking at the boxes side by side, the main features listed here are almost the same for both devices, and I thought it was interesting to note that the new headphones buck the trend for the Life series and are called the Q35 as opposed to the Q40. The handful of new additions mean these are just an incremental upgrade over the Q30, but that shouldn't take anything away from the fact that the Q30s were already great headphones in their own right. I think this does mean that owners of the Q30s don't really need to upgrade, unless you're really dying to have one of those new features like smart wearing detection or LDAC audio. The older model are now under $80, which is just insane value for money, and probably even more deserving of the best Value ANC Headphones title than the new model. But the Q35s offer a more complete and refined overall package, and with this new premium finish and the improved sound quality, I'd personally spend a bit extra to get the 35s. Soundcore have proven that you don't need to spend $200+ to get a great pair of ANC headphones, and the new Life Q35 are perhaps the easiest headphones to recommend we've seen in years. If you found this video helpful, then please consider giving it a like. Subscribe for more videos like this one, and leave any questions you have down in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.